Most people would tell you, as soon as you hear that war has been declared officially, run out and stock up. I will tell you the opposite. Run out and stock up now. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off before I get into this video by saying that for those of you that didn't like the video that I put out for the Refuge Medical Mac 4 bag, stop your whining, ladies and gentlemen, and grow up. You either liked it or you didn't. You either want to get it or you don't want to get it. It's up to you. I put the video up there. Stop whining about things in life and take action instead. Having said that, let's go on to this video. Things are serious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting serious. I don't try to come up here and put out a fear porn video every day, and that's not what this is. But you need to be preparing as best as you possibly can. All right? Prepare as best as you possibly can. You will need your preps. You will eventually need your preps. And if the good Lord blesses us with peace, you will still be able to use your preps if you're doing it right. If you're not doing it right, the preps that you're getting, you won't use because you're not rotating your things around. Even those things that you get that are like long-term preps, like for example, long-term freeze-dried foods. That's a great example. Eventually, you should use them. You should rotate them. You should know what they taste like. You should know what they're like. That way, if you ever have to rely on them, you know that you and your family will be able to use them. So your preparations will not go to waste if you're doing it right. Serbian president says that there will be a great conflict within 2 months. Now, can we hold him to his word? I mean, I don't know. You know, September 24th is today, and although it's still very early in the day, let's see, it's not even 5 o'clock in the morning here, my time. You know, we still have a whole bunch of time to go in the day of September 24th, and nothing's happened yet. Thank goodness. The lights are still on. I'm still on grid power, but you never know. But that's what preparing is for. So things that you can't control that happen, you can control the alternatives that you have prepared in order to combat those things that you cannot control. I cannot control whether the grid goes down or stays up. I can't control that. But I can control having a solar generator. I can control having a gasoline generator. I can control having candles. I can control having flashlights and lamps, etc. You know what I mean. All right, things are getting serious, and we really need to take heed to the warnings that are being put out, not just by YouTubers, all right, but by world leaders, right, by heads of state. And this person here, this president, Serbia's president, I would say that he probably has a little bit of more know as to what's going on than the average person does. The president of Serbia said that a great world conflict would occur within the next 2 months. And that is probably the worst time of the year, especially for those countries that are dark, like, you know, the U.S. And what I mean dark is that it gets cold, it's winter time, probably the worst time of the year for those countries that have a winter during this time of the year. He made the alarming comments during the first day of the UN General Assembly session in New York. And he says, quote, "You see a crisis in every part of the world." He told the Serbian state broadcasters, RTS, "I think realistic predictions ought to even be darker," he added. So he's thinking that things are going to be even worse than what are being predicted right now. And listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. He says, "Our position is even worse since the UN has been weakened and great powers have taken over and practically destroyed the UN order over the past several decades. And they're destroying this order. Why? Because they want to rule the world via ESG. That's what this all comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that have not studied or researched what ESG is, take a look at it, because that is what they're headed towards. And ESG has a whole bunch of things under it. The Serbian ruler continued that the war between Russia and Ukraine had moved on to a far deadlier phase. He says, quote, "I assume that we are leaving the phase of the special military operation and approaching a major armed conflict." And that's kind of evident by the fact that President Putin over in Russia has mobilized, I believe it's like 300,000 troops. He continues to say, "And now the question becomes, where is the line? And whether after a certain time, maybe a month or two, we will enter a great world conflict not seen since the Second World War, he said. Most people would tell you, as soon as you hear that war has been declared officially, run out and stock up. I will tell you the opposite. Run out and stock up now. Because when people start to panic, those shelves are going to empty out very, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Don't allow your eyes to deceive you. When you walk into a supermarket or a Costco or Sam's Club and you see that their shelves are stacked, you have to understand that that's about 95-98% of their inventory is out there on the floor, that they don't really have very much inventory in the back. They rely on trucks to come in on a daily basis to resupply them with what they need. So ask yourself, if you walk into a Costco, for example, and the shelves are completely full and they're stacked up to the ceiling, ask yourselves, how long will it take for the population in whatever city you live in to come in here and wipe everything out? All right? Because it looks like a lot to you, but is it really a lot when you compare it to the amount of people that live in that city and that visit that certain location that you're going to? And he continues to say that Vucic's remarks were made on the same day that Russian president ordered an immediate partial mobilization of troops amounting to 300,000 soldiers. Putin also asserted that he was not bluffing. Now they, meaning the West, are talking about nuclear blackmail, said Putin. And he says here, quote, the whatever that ZA is, how you pronounce that, nuclear power plant was shelled, and also some high positions, representatives of NATO states, who are saying that there might be a possibility and permissibility to use nuclear weapons against Russia. Incredible that anyone would be thinking about conducting a first strike. Ladies and gentlemen, if we turn into a nuclear war, be it a full-blown nuclear war or even a partial nuclear war, it's going to be devastating to everyone in the world, not just the countries involved. So stock up on the things that you need now. I don't think that having a nuclear war would mean the end of life on Earth, but it would be a lot more difficult than what it is now. Your lives, our lives, will completely change. He continues to say, Putin ominously asserted that Western powers should be reminded that our country also has various weapons of destruction, and with regard to certain components, they're even more modern than NATO ones. It bears mentioning that a study conducted by Reuters University found that nuclear war between the United States and Russia would result in the death of 5 billion people. Even a smaller nuclear skirmish, such as between India and Pakistan, would likely lead to 2.5 billion deaths within 24 months, reports The Telegraph. And that's more than likely because of the radioactive waste that gets in the atmosphere and circulates through the globe. The fact of the matter is this, ladies and gentlemen, is that it doesn't matter how many threats you listen to or hear or who makes them. None of that matters. What matters is this, is that if we do enter into some kind of a major conflict in which we are in the major war cycle right now, we are in the major war cycle. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? Human activity doesn't change. It doesn't change over time. We do the same things over and over and over again, over decades, over generations. The only things that change are the humans themselves. I mean, what can we do? I mean, if a nuclear warhead were to, hit Alaska, for example, what could you do? You can be as prepared as possible, as you can be, and then after that, God can take it from there. After that, you leave it up to God because there's nothing else that you can do. Someone sent me an email that I looked over earlier today, and it said something about, are you worried that Russia is talking about trying to take back Alaska and all this kind of stuff? I'm like, no, I'm not worried about it. I mean, what would worrying do? Worrying about it would do absolutely nothing for me or my family. I know about it. I'm trying to prepare the best that I can about it. Everyone should have some kind of an escape plan, and that's all that you can do. But be prepared, because when you are prepared, I guarantee you're going to be a lot better off than the people that are not. It will give you time. Preparedness is about you having time and having opportunity to take care of those things that you did not prepare for before you actually need them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow during our live stream at 9 a.m. Alaska time. All right, so Sunday, 9 a.m. Alaska time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And hopefully it'll just be a fun live stream, as it always is, because a lot of the news out there is pretty dim. But don't let it get you down. Continue to prepare, because there's really nothing that you can do about what's about to happen, and there really isn't. All you can do is prepare the best that you can. All right. Having said that, I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you're having a good weekend thus far. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.